What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be making a couple changes to the Gen 1. Obviously, I'll also be showing y'all how to mount the GT500 front splitter on your GT bumper. Now there's 3 ways to do it. This is gonna be the first way to do it, and I'm gonna show you the second way, and then I'll explain the third way. So it just gonna depends on what you like, what your preference is. Don't mind my bumper, it is a little bent. Obviously, this is my daily, and Houston roads are not really the best roads. And I'll also be changing these, and I'm gonna replace it with fog lights. Obviously, I'm not gonna connect the fog lights, I just want the look. I do have a vision for what I want with the car, and this is gonna be one of those steps. Alright y'all, we got the lights on. They clip onto each other. I think it's 2 pieces, and then you screw them down like a screwdriver. And now I'm gonna take off the bumper. If I have to tell you how to take off your bumper, this video is not for you. So mine is quick release, so I just gotta pop this out, pop the other one out, and then I think I put 1 screw over here. I made it so it's easy for me to take off the bumper every time I want to, and then I'll show you how to do the bumper, front splitter. Alright y'all, I got the bumper off, and now this is gonna be the first way to mount this front splitter. Now the downside to this is that your front is not gonna be showing as much, and I'll show you what I mean. The front, I mean this little piece right here. It's not gonna be showing as much if you mount it this way. Obviously there's multiple ways to do it, but your sides are gonna be showing out way more. Obviously this bumper is beat up, but don't worry about that. And this is what it looks like. When you first mount the bumper, there's gonna be gaps in between, and you're just gonna take a bolt and a nut on the other end, maybe a washer, and you're gonna pull it together to make it flush. This is the first way to mount it. Obviously I use self-tapping screws. If I come to the other side, you'll see on the corners I have a bolt and a nut, and then self-tapping screws for the other sides. And I do have, there's gonna be a gap when you mount this splitter. The GT500 front bumper has no curve in the middle, it's just flat, so this area is covered. But for the GT, you're gonna find something to cover it with, whatever works for you, as long as it's black or something, but that's way under there that nobody's gonna see it. Anyways, obviously I think for most people they're gonna have what is it called, the thing that covers the bumper, the splitter, the engine cover over here. So I don't know if you want to take that off to do this, or you want to keep it like me. I didn't have one, so for me it didn't matter. Now you're gonna notice on the corners I do have a bolt and a nut. That's because you want your corners to be really strong, because you're gonna be scraping a lot. As you can see, I have one over there too. You're gonna have a lot more showing on the sides. Like this is gonna be showing more, but you're gonna lose this. So we're gonna go to the second way, which is my favorite way, which is the way I did it originally, and I just wanted to experiment and see if there's another way to mount it. But that's really it. Just self-tapping screws, a couple bolts and washers. I mean, if you need any more help, I guess you can text me on IG, but it's not really complicated. You just gotta do it, try it out. Obviously be patient. It's not gonna take 5 minutes. It's not gonna take me long because I've done it multiple times, but for your first time, I think you should be patient so it comes out clean as hell. There's a lot of mosquitoes biting me, and I think I'm losing light too, so I'm gonna take this off quick, and then I'll mount it the way I had it originally. I got a new one just to have as a backup. or just because I want to replace it anyway, because I do have like holes on the side. Yeah, I don't want that anymore. So I'm gonna change that up, and then I'm gonna mount it my favorite kind of way to mount that splitter. I'm gonna use a drill to make everything faster. Alright, so I'm gonna take these off. Self-tapping screws to hold the grill. I think I'm gonna use the same hardware. So I think I'm gonna just fast forward this maybe. Orange. This I'm gonna put the grill right here. Alright, as you guys can see, the bottom part is off. Now this is gonna be an attachment to your splitter on, so it's gonna be upper piece, which is this, which is what you see most GT500s rocking just by itself. And then there's gonna be a 3-piece, which is on the bottom, and the bottom is gonna attach to your upper part. Now, I think I had to cut some tabs or clips so this shit could be flush, but I don't remember which ones exactly. I think there was like a clip right here, I cut it, and I think right here, cut it, just to make it flush, but that's not anything you wouldn't be able to figure out. This is the first way to mount it. You're gonna have more sides, but you're gonna lose the front, and I wouldn't recommend you to do it. I was just experimenting, but when I do it the second way, I think that looks way better in my opinion. All right, let me take the rest off. Obviously I got my M18 over here making this shit quick because I think I'm losing daylight. As y'all can see, your boy ran out of light, so I gotta come to the garage. Anyways, so what I recommend doing is laying the splitter down, and then you're gonna wanna put the corners on first. There's gonna be a tab where this is gonna sit at. So this is what it looks like right now. I start with the sides first, and then I'll show you what I mean. So there's like a little slide right here, as you can see. So I'm gonna make this sit flush over there, and that's what I meant, but your sides are not gonna be showing as much. And then for the sides, you want to use something really strong. You don't want to use the self-tapping screws. These are gonna come loose over time. So because you're gonna be scraping anyways, you're gonna use some sort of bolt, washer, something to hold it from the middle to the top together, close, tight. All right, I'm gonna do that right now. I am kind of forgetting I'm making a video, so I do apologize if the instructions are not as good, but you haven't really missed anything. It's just the tabs, the little tab here, and then there's gonna be this tab where I'm gonna make it sit flush like that. You see, like that. So again, I'm trying to explain my best. So there's gonna be this right here, and then this. You're gonna make it sit flush like so, and then you're gonna put that together with like a bolt and a nut. All right, I already made the hole, as y'all can see. Oh, you can't really see. Okay. All right, put that together. Okay, because this is an instructional video, I'm not gonna assume y'all know everything, so I'm using like this to make holes, and then I use this to kind of hold it together. All right, YouTube, the most important part is done. The most important part is your corners. As you can see, that's what it's looking like looking like right now. And then the other side took me a while, but I got it done. So as y'all can see, there's still a lot more left to do, but you want this part to be out more. That's what's gonna make it look like the most aggressive. Well, you can't see this side, but that's the most important part. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna turn the flash on and I'm gonna show you what it's looking like with more light. With the corners just done, I don't mind the damaged bumper, but it's my daily, and Houston roads are not the best. Now, it's gonna be, you might experience things like these. Remember, this is flexible, you can move it around to screw it. So if you can kind of see what I'm saying, like I can move this if I want to. I don't know if I'm making sense. You see how I'm able to push that and it kind of sits flush. And then this is looking good. Alright, so this side doesn't need any adjusting. I'm only gonna have to adjust this to kind of make it like flush. As you can see, if I pull that bumper like that and I put a screw over there, it's good. I think I'm gonna start with this problem right here. I'm gonna put a screw right there so it kind of lines everything up, and then from there I can work on the sides. The only thing you're gonna do is put screws here, right? And then put screws here, and then put 2 screws. It's gonna go from, okay, we haven't gotten there yet, but put screws right here, make it flush with the bolt and the nut. You're gonna have gaps, so you're gonna have to do it anyway. So you're gonna use a drill and an impact to kind of work through it. Be patient, don't rush nothing, and the end result is very worth it. So I kind of wish I had somebody to record, but I'm gonna try to show as much as I can. But this is kind of what you want, guys. This is the second way. You kind of get this side, you know, it's showing, and then this side is showing too. That's kind of like the end goal with this splitter. Your upper part is the most important part. Then that part over there is not as important because it's just gonna clip on to this one. I'll show you what I mean by clip on, but so far so good. Shit. All right, y'all, we got the sides secure. That's what it's looking like. So I basically just used small 5/16 screws, self-tapping, and then same thing on this side. Obviously, as you guys can tell, I'm leaving this for last because the only way you're gonna be able to put this together is to use a nut and a bolt, make a hole with a drill, put them together. It's gonna pull it tight. Now, this side of my bumper is damaged because I forgot. I think I hit something or something, but then it broke my bumper. I hit one of those dividers on the highway and I was going pretty fast. So I thought there was no damage, but I saw this. So I was all in ass. So that's how that happened. But yours is gonna be flush. It's not gonna be damaged. As y'all can see, I think you kind of see like how I pulled it last time. It's like curved that way. Right. So I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to show what one screw is gonna look like, so you guys can get the concept. So far, I don't know if you guys remember the gap, but the gap is not there anymore. It's literally pulling on the bumper together. So from far, when you take pictures, that shit gonna be clean as hell. Anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. The bumper is getting pulled by the bolt, and I put a washer just to give it a little, you know, security. And I guess for this, you can really put a self-tapping screws, but I might just put bolts All right, I'm gonna close up this corner and I'm gonna close up that corner, and then the rest is really easy. The bottom part is probably the easiest part, but all right. All right, YouTube. So we got one side closed up. That's what it's looking like. You're not gonna be able to completely get it. I mean, you can go as far as putting one over here, like in the middle. But if you think about it, nobody's really gonna see that part. They're gonna be looking at the car from this angle, or maybe from this angle, which looks closed up. So I do recommend putting washers between your bolts and the nut on both sides, just to kind of give it the extra surface area to work with. But the next thing I'll work on is the grill, which is pretty easy. You don't really have to put a grill, but I don't want to drive with that gap over there, so I'm gonna put a grill. All right, for the grill, I mean, you can get one of these mesh grills from Amazon, and you're just gonna use small screws to kind of hold it over there, so it kind of gives it a dark look that there's no space over there. I think from certain angles you're kind of able to tell like the gaps from here and here. If you guys can cover that up, but I don't really care. All I care about is this big gap over here. So because I already pre-made the grill, I'm gonna keep it the same way I had it before, and then I use small screws to kind of drill it down. But the screws that I'm using are really tiny. I want to show you guys. So they kind of like disappear into like, you know, all this. I'm gonna bolt that up. Obviously I have the Milwaukee, which makes things way faster, way easier. All right, so the grill is now secured. I use small self-tapping screws. These ones right here. You can kind of see it's not really going anywhere. Kind of covers that hole, and that's the hardest part, really. Just trying to get everything aligned to somewhere, because obviously we know the splitter is not made for this bumper, so you know it's not really a way to do it. It's kind of like you just go customizing as you go. But I hope maybe the video is gonna help you to try it out. But so I'm gonna try to mount the lights now. It's already 10:30, which it was supposed to be like a 30-minute job, or maybe I thought so, but this is my third time doing it, and I guess it took me a while. So you need a lot of patience, and I got time, so I ain't got nothing better to do. All right, update. I'm putting on the fog light housing, and the tabs that come on the original bumper, they were like taking me too long to take off, so I'm just breaking them off. And I think I'm gonna use these little holes to mount the new housing. All right, y'all, the housing is on with 5/16 on each little corner. I'm put on the light. I'm gonna take that off. I'm not fighting with those tabs. I'm just cutting them off. Yeah, I don't got time today. No. Damn. This side came off easy. I just pulled it out, I guess with a lot of force, and it just came out. So I'm gonna put the housing on quick, and then I'm gonna mount the light. All right, y'all boys, I'm almost done. I did take off the lower grill. I've been looking for open grill, but I can't find one, so I think I'm gonna just rock it like this. The next part is gonna be the lower part of the grill. That's not complicated at all. It just bolts onto this one, and then I'm gonna just shoot screws from the bottom to the top, and I'll probably show that. Alright, y'all boys. So for the middle part, you want to shoot a screw from the lower splitter to the upper splitter to the bumper, and you're gonna adjust the height slowly up and down to kind of get like a level, you know, like where you want it type shit. Like this side, I'm gonna move a little bit up. And should look something like that. Maybe I didn't cut a tab over here, but that's basically what you're looking at. And then I'm gonna put the other side on. Screws all the way up here. Alright, so after hours and hours of fighting, we finally got it on. Now I am gonna be rocking the no front lower grill until I get the one that I want. I do. Alright, YouTube, I was gonna make this video, but it started pouring hard, so this is the final product of yesterday's job. As y'all can see, this side was giving me issues because obviously that side is damaged, but yours is not gonna look like that. Then the rest of the bumper, I took off my grill just for now, but you guys can see how much work goes into making this fit. If anybody needs help, if you get stuck, just remember you can always manipulate your bumper to move the way you want it to move. Like if you put this together and you see like one side needs adjusting, all you have to do is adjust that side. And this is what it looks like from the side, and that's what it looks like from this other side. Now I do apologize if the video is not as great, but it should give you an idea of how much work and what you need to do. Remember, a lot of patience, and it's not as hard as it looks. You just gotta have patience. Alright, so this is everything, or this is what it looks like from the other side. If you guys can see it, you want to pause the video and kind of get an idea, but that's what it looks like, and it's not going anywhere. Alright, YouTube, before it starts raining hard again, this is what it looks like on the car. That side is like bent because it's damaged, so I think yours is probably gonna be like a little bit more straighter, but I'm gonna try to get different angles of what it looks like. This angle from the side. Yeah, YouTube, that's gonna be the end of this video. The only thing that's remaining is an open grill because that's the look that I want. But before it starts pouring hard, this is the final product.
A little too, a little too. Them baggy jeans, you like them vintage tees, you like them old school. Do you like them old school beats? You like them throwback sounds and your boombox.